Hello you beautiful people and welcome back to another video. If you watched my other video about the upcoming skins for Genshin Impact, then you know what's coming. Recently, 4 skins have been released for the characters Rosaria, Jean, Amber, and Mona. But in short and in simple terms, the skins were added because the Chinese government wants female video game characters to cover up. So MiHoYo is remodeling these characters in the Chinese client so they can stay within the restrictions of their government. Since the remodels are not transferring over to the global client, MiHoYo instead added them in as skins for the characters in game. But how good are these skins? Are they better designed than the original designs of the characters? That's what I am here to discuss with you all today. We will be taking a character on in a separate video each. Today I'm here to discuss our astral reflection, Mona. But before we get into it, I have a few things to say. First, I would like to hear what you guys think about her design and her new skin in the comments below. Which do you think is better? Will you be using the new skin? Any other thoughts? Leave them down below as I would love to hear them. And if you do end up enjoying the video, please hit the like button and maybe consider subscribing as well, as it helps me out a whole lot and costs you guys nothing. Last thing, I promise, it's a disclaimer. This video is opinionated. This video is not to insult, bastardize, or ridicule anyone's tastes or even MiHoYo themselves. I wish no ill will on anyone believing opposite me or anyone involved in designing the characters. Character design is a very subjective topic in and of itself and should be discussed as such. Nothing I say or believe should be taken as fact. This video is purely for entertainment, information, and to discuss this particular topic. Hyperbole and sass is for the funny hoo-hoo-ha-has and not due to actual feelings or opinions as they are hyperbole. Now, with that out of the way, let's hop right in. Mona, at heart, is a truth seeker. Through the use of her own self-made fortune-telling, she is able to determine the fates of those around her. Her hydromancy plays a grand role in her predictions as she uses it to reflect the night sky back at her. Using this reflection, she is able to reflect the truths back at anyone willing to see it. However, the hopeful are never fond of the truths they seek, especially when they are told with no hesitation and with carelessness. With this and her morals for not profiting off of astrology, the ever blunt and broke Mona decides it's in her best interests to instead seek work elsewhere. By pure chance, she is hired by the court of Fontaine's mainline newspaper, the Steambird, to write about her own astrological findings. Still claiming to stick to her morals of not profiting off of astrology, she begins profiting off of astrology. With each paycheck she receives, she immediately spends it all on astrological gear, rendering herself poor once again, but now with a new and pretty astrolabe imported directly from Sumeru. When asked about her financial situation and when offered help, Mona tends to deny the claims, as well as the help accompanying it. Being at the foot of death's door due to starvation, she will insist that a frugal lifestyle is a form of training to access the truth. With her lore in mind, let's jump into the discussion at hand. Mona has a get-up in the style of a magician's assistant as she wears something resembling a leotard as well as partially see-through stockings. It also suits her lore somewhat as she is a pupil of a powerful seer. Her one-piece leotard is also similar to that of a one-piece swimsuit since she uses hydromancy and is able to swim on land. She also is a really strong black mirror representation as she uses her hydromancy to reflect the stars back at her, revealing the truths of the world. Her lore tells us that she is a strong but simple pupil who foretells the past, present, and future. However, she never uses her powers for herself, only for others to their own dismay. Mona is a very blunt and straightforward person to other people, but she does have some intricacies. She uses her powers for non-profit, as she says, and not for herself. Therefore, she does not hold the truth up to herself. That truth being that she does not stick to her morals as she says she does, and she lies to others due to her own pride. Mona has spent her entire life looking at what is around her, yet has not taken a glance at herself. At least this is the story I hope MiHoYo is going with, as it would make the most sense since right now, Mona's design does not represent who she is. One of the main issues being that she was designed to look wealthy, when one of her main character traits is that she is the exact opposite. It would be one thing if it was just a minor part of her story, but the fact that they hammer in her financial situation in 4 of her 5 character stories just tells me how big of a part it plays in her life. If it's of such great importance to her story, then why the hell is it not represented at all in her design? Actually, why is she dressed like she's drowning in money? She really doesn't look like the type of person that would visit an equal just so they can eat and not die to starvation. And yes, this is an actual story she has. She literally goes to join Albedo and Klee just so she could have something to eat and not die. It's something she does multiple times too, so it's not like they found her and saved her life or anything. No, there is no good excuse. She just meets with people to not starve. But can you tell she is struggling to survive? Nope. You can't tell she's starving or poor at all because she looks rich due to the gold, royal colors, fur collar, the decked out cape, her golden high heels, her impossible hair ornaments, and her over-the-top stylish hat. This stark contrast between two states can be the point of certain characters. They can just be deceiving, but Mona is a character who actively seeks truth and lives by such a high moral code that chucks any chance of that being applied to her out the goddamn window. Her design also lacks ties with itself and other characteristics of hers, making it seem like they added features to her just because. She looks like a magician's assistant, even though just barely due to her lore. However, she is more of a pupil than assistant, so the magician's assistant approach is more of an excuse to make her attractive in my eyes. She wears a swimsuit because she uses water. However, this can be done in more ways, like adding water imagery on her clothing, or adding frills on her clothing that look like sea foam, or make her hat made entirely out of water that swirls around and then reflects the galaxy above her. You know, something interesting. Like, just give her a lobster claw at this point or something. It's better than the laziness of mommy milker that we see in so many of these female characters in this game. She wears stars because of astrology, but it could just be done better using swirling galaxies or mirror imagery like stated before. The only interesting aspect she has going on with her hot babe using hydromancy shtick is that she is able to mirror the night sky, allowing her to be able to see the truth the constellations hold. She then puts it up in front of everyone for all the world to see, no matter the price. They could have leaned into this black mirror role so much heavier for a better design, and then tied it to her kit more. But they don't commit to anything other than Hooker's Star Mage. The design she has now would have been better tied to a con character who puts on a show of fortune-telling using her attractive appearance and elaborate magic and stage work to swindle those foolish enough to fall for her street performances. The practice of fortune-tellers conning people, horoscopes doing something similar and granting false hope, her using her sexual appearance to deceive and entice people similar to a magician's assistant, and her dressing elaborately despite being poor. Not an apprentice of a strong mage who actively seeks truth and power. Her design works a billion times better for the exact opposite of the truth she stands for. She's in a position where miHoYo either needs to completely change the lore of this character or completely scrap the design for this character in order for it to work, as her design says one thing and her character says another. Until then, she will continue to be just a jumbled mess of nonsense. Her skin is just a worse version of her design, as it takes away the magician's assistant look and swimsuit that she did have and replaced them with nothing. She resembles the galaxy a lot more now, but it's just because they added more clutter with the stars that were not needed. It's more blue and pretty though, so that's a plus. But that's all I have for you guys today. I know that the community is quite fond of Mona's design, so I want to reiterate, this is not a hate video. This is an analysis of her design and how I believe it does not work. Do you agree with the opinions in this video? Do you think the opposite? I would love to know what you guys think of Mona in the comments down below. But with that, I shall wish you guys a farewell. Bye bye!